right, so how's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
So we're Upchime, and we're email marketing in one click. So before I talk about our product, I want to talk a little bit about ourselves. So I'm Nathaniel Adams. I'm a front-end engineer. My background is with the Berkeley SETI Research Center. I did a lot of data visualization and a lot of front-end work there. I'm also a fellow at the Stanford University Innovation Fellowship. And there I learned about entrepreneurs, I can't talk right now, innovation and entrepreneurship. My co-founder and my good friend, Aaron Hardigan, is a full-stack engineer. Do you want to talk a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I've had an internship at Green Solutions International, where I developed a web app for them. I worked with Nathaniel on an app for our school, called within our club, FLC Data Science. We developed an app basically to help students pick their classes.
Yeah, and that was an app for all 4 colleges of the Los Rios College District. So about our product. So small businesses have 2 options. I don't want to call it bad, but there are 2 options there with email marketing. So the first option are web apps that are available right now. So you have MailChimp, you have ConvertKit, you have other apps like that. So about those apps, they're really cheap, sometimes even free, but they're super time consuming. So if you guys have used email marketing before and you're a small business owner, I mean, you just simply don't have time to do the copy, to do the design, everything like that. There's also a high barrier. So if you're not an email marketing professional, how are you expecting to create good email campaigns when there's email marketing professionals out there who are doing the same thing? So that's one option, right? And then you can also hire an email marketing professional. And that's really easy to do, well, kind of easy to do, but it's super expensive because you're literally hiring a person. And if you're hiring a contractor, it's not transparent at all, and unless you're an email marketing professional yourself, it's not very transparent. So we found, based on that people just don't do email marketing. Small businesses don't do email marketing. And there's a lot of data to back that up. 66% of small to medium-sized businesses don't do email marketing. And I think it's half of all businesses have a business owner who wears multiple hats, whether it's the CEO, the CMO of their company. So we created a solution, and that's to automate the user experience by doing email marketing in one click. So let me show you what that means. So this is our app, and it does a lot of the things that a normal email marketing app does, but really fast. You can add a list, you can create a campaign. Now the thing that's unique is that we actually generate the campaign based on user and industry data. And if you like what you see, you just submit it and it's launched right there. Or you can go back in and edit it. Another unique thing that we do is you don't have time to think about email marketing all day. So what we do is we actually send you an email. And in that email is a campaign already generated. And if you like how it looks, you can launch it right there from inside your email, without thinking about copy, without thinking about design. So a little bit about the market. Again, 66% of small to medium-sized businesses don't do email marketing. And in addition, the email marketing channel is one of the highest, if not the highest performing online channel for marketing. And it actually has 40 times the customer acquisition rate of social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook specifically. And in addition, it has an extremely high ROI in the industry. It's $38 for every $1 that you spend. So about our business strategy, we have kind of thought out a little bit about our revenue model, but that's subject to change. So right now the product would be free with tiered subscriptions built out in the future for additional features. We also are, of course, focusing on small business, but we'd also like to focus on email marketing professionals. We want everybody to use our product because we want it to be easy. Also, our strategy for acquiring customers is, the typical stuff like targeted advertising. We're building an email marketing blog, but we also have a strategy to advertise to companies that are using social media but not ready to use email marketing yet. So those are people who are perfect for Upchime because they can use our product really, really easily. And a little bit about our competitors, and how we differentiate ourselves. So some people do digestible email marketing campaigns. They build campaigns based on brands, so like MailChimp and Tiny Leather there. Our main competitor is Square. So with Square, what they do is they generate campaigns based on their marketing platform. They generate campaigns based on their point of sale data. So that's their brick and mortar data, and that's specifically for brick and mortar companies. What we want to do is we want to generate campaigns for all types of companies based on user and industry data. And yeah, so we have a bunch of milestones. Right now we're focusing on launching our product, and we're focused on getting customer interviews and validating our product. And as we grow, we'd like to integrate more features that focus on features that develop the ability for our users to have more channels to create campaigns. And in the future, we want to leverage data to create additional revenue and create more integration. So that's Upchime. And what we're looking for right now is customer feedback. And we'd also like to see if there's anybody who does email marketing, who's interested in email marketing, to test out our product. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. You're right on the 6-minute mark.
Nice.
Good job. So the first thing we like to ask, which you already answered, is how can the community help you? And
Okay.
I do know that we have some people who do email marketing in this room. They do. These
Nice.
folks do. So I'm going to go ahead, since you already said how the community can help, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Q&A, and you can go ahead and call on whomever and moderate that.
Okay.
So we'll have about 15 minutes.
Sure.
So talk a bit about the content. How is that generated? Is it still on the business owner, or is there some way you're generating the content, the copy?
Sure. So right now, the way that we're generating the content copy is we're actually building out templates. For now, we're building out templates, and the templates are selected based on your industry and the type of campaign that you want to send out. Then we also fill in content, so like your business name, you create a little bio, your website gets put in there, and all that stuff. And in the future, we plan on integrating more ways that content gets generated, like Twitter content, Facebook content, blogs, all of that getting put into an email in some way. So we're looking into that.
So aggregating your social stream to put out on the newsletter?
Yeah, exactly.
So when users, all their emails will come in like format, can you like change colors?
Yeah, you can customize it in different ways. So like based on your logo, your email has different colors, and you can of course edit the email. In fact, we encourage people to do that so that it can be more personalized. So, yeah.
So, some questions and a couple of comments.
Sure.
So you're right in the middle of your kind of user testing.
Yes.
Have you gotten any user feedback in terms of UX, working?
Yes. We've gotten we got a few people to use the app, but probably about a dozen people who gave us serious feedback.
Okay. Is a dozen people not similar last names as you guys?
Yeah, it's random, like, from people from Reddit or people that we know who do email marketing, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good. And you want to do more of that?
Absolutely, yeah, we want to validate as much as
Because you really
possible.
want to validate that,
Yes.
get that iterative process, that
Yeah,
lean methodology
absolutely.
going. Right. Okay. And then just overall presentation, I think was really good. You're comfortable speaking.
Thank you,
I love the name and the logo.
thank you.
Good job there.
Brand's important for us.
Can you talk about your pricing, and a follow-up, can you talk about your financials after that?
Sure, so right now, our pricing is free because it's just so cheap to do Amazon services right now. We want as many people to use the product so we can test that, as you were saying. But we were thinking about having anything from probably our lowest tier will be about $30. It goes all the way up to enterprise, like a normal subscription model. And our financials, could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Have you thought about your 4-year plan or?
Sure. So right now, we were thinking about raising funding once we have traction, just because it seems to be what people normally do. And we're also planning on applying to different accelerators. But right now, I think most of our mind is in getting a good product built. So we haven't thought too much about that yet, but
You mentioned that, I think, how many, that there's a large portion of companies that don't use email marketing?
Yes.
But I think, how are you going to reach them when all these other, larger ones like MailChimp have been trying to reach them to get them to use email marketing? I
Right.
understand your solution's a bit simpler,
Yes.
but it's just, how are you going to get it in front of them when there's all these other people trying to get it in front of the same market? Where are you going to differentiate your kind of, I guess, customer acquisition?
Right.
from
So
the
I've
methods?
used different products like this, and when I used MailChimp, for me, even though I really enjoy marketing, it's very, very complicated. And I imagine the experience is very similar. So when you get people on your website, being able to convert them into paying customers, that whole process, when they use the MailChimp app, it's just very time consuming, right? So if we can get people on the app and, the normal traditional methods to getting people to try the product using sales and marketing. But once we get people on the app, we'd like to hopefully get the experience to be easy enough where they like it a lot and they're like, wow, I can do this in about 30 seconds and launch a campaign. So, yeah.
Do you have any company values? Like, do you have anything you value with your company, or what you want to see your company do for the community? Like,
Sure. So that's actually a big factor of Upchime is there's a lot of small businesses who can't do marketing as effectively as large companies, right? And I see in a lot of different, when creating websites, different fields like industries like that, the field is balancing more. But when it comes to marketing, it's definitely large companies that seem to be dominating, unless you can get viral or things like that. So with email marketing, I think this is a great opportunity to kind of disrupt that.
give everyone a chance.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Can you further define your target market beyond a small company versus big company?
Absolutely, yeah. So right now, we're focusing mainly on startups that, well, I would say small businesses that aren't necessarily startups, people who aren't really engaged in anything beyond social media. So that was our main plan, is to actually market to people who are already on social media. So hunting down those companies that are very active on social media, but aren't active on email marketing. So that's just figuring out who's using those channels and then reaching out to them.
Would they be like local small business?
Yeah,
a
we would start with
retail
Sacramento
place,
companies.
A restaurant,
Yeah.
something of that nature?
Yeah, exactly. So those are exactly the kinds of companies that we're looking for. People who have large audiences, instead of, some companies have a few customers, but they're very high-paying customers. So we're looking for companies that are not huge, but have a large customer base that are low-paying, such as restaurants or different companies like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Two-part question. How long
Sure.
have you guys been working on this, and why do you think it's important to validate the tool?
Sure. So we've been working on it, I don't know, maybe like 6 months or something. Yeah. Yeah. And the reason why we feel that it's important to validate it is because we're making a lot of assumptions about how people want to use marketing tools. Now, it almost seems obvious that people want to use it simply, right? But do they want a whole bunch of features that MailChimp might provide, or would they want just an easy experience? And we're kind of getting the vibe that there are, in fact, a lot of companies that just say, because we've spoken to people and we've heard almost verbatim, I just simply don't have the time to dig into that. I'm too busy doing this or that with my company, right? So we're starting to get a clearer picture, but there's a lot of smaller assumptions that we're trying to fill out right now. So, yeah, yeah.
Have you guys considered, what's the exit plan? Because, for a lot of small companies that I've worked with, and my companies especially, only 2 or 3 people actually use emails.
Okay.
And the marketing field has, changes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people see that too. All these other places have said email's dying.
Right, I've heard that a lot, yeah.
Is there a pivot? that you
Yes.
guys-
So something that I've heard a lot is that people under 25 tend not to use email marketing instead for them. But the thing is you look as people gain professional experience, it's almost like email is necessary. So, I use tools like Slack and Trello and other things that don't really need email necessarily, but to communicate outside of companies, email is almost vital. And it almost brings everything to a central location, right? So when I receive analytics, I don't want to go to every single website and see analytics. I want to deliver to one place. And I look at email marketing all the time myself because I like sales. I like different things like that. I know a lot of people who do. So it might not be for everybody, but there is a huge amount of people who definitely use email marketing in that way. Yeah. Oh, sure.
Go ahead.
Is there anything you guys are doing to help companies grow their email list, and then what does it look like when you organize that list?
Yeah, so not currently, but so we are thinking about that a little bit, but it is very tricky to have tools for that. So we are planning on building out a small tool, like a widget that you can put on your website or different ways to feed in traffic to your list. But just as we build up the product, those are things in the plan. Sorry, what was the second question?
What does it look like within the application where the list is? What does it look like? How you organize the list? Is it alphabetical? Yeah.
Yeah. So currently we don't have segmenting, and we don't plan